What is going to happen to the protesters when they arrive in prison? Now that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, because a lot of me subscribers and a lot of the viewers have been asking in the comments section on the last video as well, what will happen to these protesters when they land in prison. Now, if it sounds a little bit echoey, because I can hear it when I'm talking myself, it's because I'm in the spinning room in my gym, as you can see, Ruthless Fitness. So I try to fit these videos in when I can. But without further ado, we'll get into the video talking about the protesters in prison, or on their way to prison. Because as you'll have seen all over the media, Keir Starmer and his government are trying to make an example of the protesters by sending them straight to prison, no pre-sentence reports, no time to get a proper case built. A lot of the time, I mean, some of these protesters are blatantly on camera destroying things, which is absolutely ridiculous. But these people are getting put straight through the system, fast-tracked, and they're getting sent straight to prison. But not only that, they're getting plastered all over the news. So what is that going to do? Prisoners have got nothing to do in prison apart from sit on the beds nearly 23 hours a day watching TV. And what are they going to be watching? All the updates on the riots and what's flashing all over the headlines. They're actually putting the faces on of these people, naming and shaming them. It's all white people, because I've not seen any Asians or any other ethnic minorities being put on the news. So from what I'm saying, they're putting these people all over the news, plastering them all over. But what do they expect is going to happen when they land in prison? The one that I seen, they were calling them the Liverpool Trio, I believe they called them, and they put the three of them. One of them was an old man, I think he was 60-odd-year-old, plastered them all over all the mainstream media, and they've been sentenced to prison straight away. Some of them got 3 years, some of them got like 30 months. They're making an example of them. But what they are actually doing is they're not just naming and shaming them, they're actually going to maim them, because these protesters will be attacked when they go into prison. When they land in the local prison, and all of the inmates have been sitting watching the updates, and these prisoners land on the wing, and there's loads of different races on the wings. There's black lads, Asian lads, obviously white lads, just about every nationality you can think of is in the prisons. So what is going to happen when these land on the wing and everyone knows who they are, they're talking about them? They will be attacked on sight. These people in prison, or the lads inside of prison, will be thinking or branding them racists, because that's exactly what the mainstream media has done. It has branded them racist. One of them got a racially aggravated charge. So all this is doing is making or brewing the tensions up inside the prisons. I mean, what I'm actually saying is, I'm not saying they didn't deserve to go to prison. Obviously, if they're doing what they're doing, and they're blatantly on camera looting or committing criminal offences or racially aggravated offences, then you're obviously going to go to prison. But there's no need to plaster people's faces all over the mainstream media so that they will be attacked in prison. It's not just the fact that they'll be attacked in prison, it's creating tensions, racial tensions in the prison estate. So all the blacks and all the whites, not all of them, same as out here with the protesters, there will be minorities in prison, because there is prison gangs. So when you get a big gang of black lads who are quite ruthless in prison, what do you think they're going to do with one of these rioters who's been charged with a racially aggravated attack on the outside? They're going to attack them in prison. They'll probably end up on the VP wings for their own protection, because the screws will know exactly what's going to happen when they land in prison. So the screws will be telling them on reception, you need to go on protection, otherwise you will be attacked on sight. But some of these protesters, as you'll have seen, they haven't got a very big IQ level, should we say. So they are, some of them that are doing some of the things on the front line are a bit simple, so get put in prison, and they could probably then go on to attack the other inmates as well if they're that way inclined. And all it's going to do is create massive tensions in the prison system. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the riots start happening inside the prison, because like I mentioned on the last video, the prison is at boiling point anyway. Without these riots, the prison state was in absolute crisis. If you have a look back through my videos, I've done a video a couple of months back, might have been about 6 to 8 weeks ago, about the prison estate being in crisis. There was only 700 spaces left. Now, they created more spaces, let people out on early release after serving only 40%. And the majority of these get recalled, by the way, because they are repeat offenders. So these ones that have been released are back in within days or weeks. And the prison spaces that were created or that were freed up will be blocked back up with these same repeat offenders. But what they're doing is they've created 500 spaces, they're saying, to put these protesters in, to make an example of them. So what on earth is going to happen with the prison estate? The prison estate is in absolute uproar. It's at crisis point. It's at maximum capacity. It's understaffed, because a lot of time the prison system as well, during the 6-week summer holidays when the kids are off school, a lot of the staff are off. So the inmates are banged up for days on end. They're banged up as if they're in the COVID lockdown. And this is true facts. Some of the prisoners are banged up for 3-4 days at a time. They're getting out for half an hour a day to go and have the bit exercise. But the prisoners are already at boiling point. And now that they're causing more overcrowding within the prison estate and creating racial tensions, what do you think is going to happen? The prison estate is in absolute uproar. This crisis point that I was talking about a few weeks back, like I just mentioned, is going to be at critical level. And what do you think the prison staff are going to be feeling like? The prison staff that are going in are the ones that are having to deal with these prisoners on a daily basis. The prison staff are actually getting attacked themselves all the time because of the overcrowding, because of the frustration, because of what's going on. But is the government giving these prison staff a second thought? Not thinking about these one little bit. Now, there is a lot of prison staff watch my videos because I've seen in the comments, and you will be telling it straight fact. You know, I don't talk anything but facts on this channel. I don't talk bullshit. All you lot in there on the front line having to deal with this overcrowding situation are the ones that are having to pay for it. And by the way, they're on shit pay. Prison staff pay isn't very good. That's why a lot of them end up turning corrupt and end up bringing contraband in for the prisoners just to make a little bit extra wage. So again, this is another point I'm getting at about the prison state. The prison estate being an absolute crisis. It's in a crisis because the corrupt prison staff are bringing contraband in to support their own needs because they're not getting enough pay. They probably feel unjust because they're on the front line getting minimal pay for a job that is highly demanding and highly vicious and volatile. Because like I've mentioned, prison staff are getting attacked on a daily basis. The prisoners are attacking each other, they're attacking the staff, and the situation is getting worse and worse. There's no way I can see this getting any better at any point in the near future. This is going to take a long haul to get this prison estate sorted out. Not just the prison estate, the whole country. In my opinion, everything that's going on at the minute with the riots, the prison estate, the social housing, the housing crisis, everything is on its arse at the minute. And it's going to take a long way to get these issues sorted out. But again, I just thought I would highlight that, people, because a lot of you have been asking in the comments what is going on in the prison estate and what is going to happen to the protesters. The protesters are going to be getting put on protection or they'll be getting maimed of the other prisoners to make an example of them. So again, I'll repeat what I said at the beginning of the video. All this is doing is creating racial tensions inside the prison estate, and it must be a horrible environment to live in for the prisoners and for the prison staff to work in. But I'll leave that one there for now, people. I'll be doing plenty more videos soon. And if you are enjoying the content, remember to comment, like and subscribe. Take care everyone, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day.